Good morning. Today, with ringing our peace bowl, we affirm our collective hope for peace. We acknowledge that these lands that we love are the ancestral lands of the Yavapai people, the Wipukepas, the Tokipayas, the Clifkapayas, and the Yavapai. We extend a warm welcome to all here in person at Granite Peak Unitarian Universalist Congregation, and to all of you who are joining us on Zoom today. I'm Suki Jones, your worship associate today, while Reverend Patty enjoys a Sunday off. Did you know that today, here in the United States, the first Sunday after Labor Day is officially National Grandparents' Day? The proclamation cites the day's purpose: to honor grandparents, to give grandparents an opportunity to show love for their children's children, and to help children become aware of the strength, information, and guidance older people can offer. So today, a special welcome to all grandparents with us. As we gather this morning, enjoying or not these lingering days of heat, I invite you now to relax and center, maybe reflect on the role of your grandparents in your life as we listen to Lena play Aspen Summer. Everybody come back now from Colorado, where you were watching those aspen trees with their green leaves turning golden. I saw you there. This is the mission statement of our congregation. We are a compassionate spiritual community that celebrates diversity, nurtures the personal and spiritual growth of all ages, shares our gifts, promotes justice for all, and serves the world we live in. If you are joining us for the first time, please check out the website at prescottuu.org for more information about us. And if you're here in person, there'll be time to introduce yourselves after the main part of the sanctuary time. And then please stay after that and chat with a member or two, or three, or four, whole bunches of us. And now would be an excellent time to set your phones on worship mode while I make this blatant advertisement. Don't forget that starting today and throughout the month of September, you can sample 3 different equal exchange coffees during coffee hour, and then please consider a purchase of this earth-friendly, fair trade product. Thank you. And now we have another announcement from our visitor, Al Schober from PUF, Prescott Unitarian Fellowship. Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Come on up, Al.
Thank you, Suki. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to sell you. Well, yes, I do, actually. The reason I'm here is throughout the many years Puff Bidet existed, we have gathered a lot of artwork over there, and it's been in storage for quite a while. My Vice President Sue and I have recently got it out of storage, cataloged it, hung some on the walls, and we are going to do a silent auction with a lot of it that we just feel should be passed on to somebody else. So for today, skip empty bowls. The following Sunday and the following Sunday, if any of you are interested, please come over. Our services are 11 to 12, anytime after 12 o'clock, and look through the artwork and make a bid on whatever strikes your fancy. Some of it is quite good. And there are 2 pieces there that might be valuable, but I'm not an art critic, so I'm not sure. Does anybody know an artist by the name of Worringham? Okay, maybe he's not that famous. But it's a large landscape. It's very beautiful. And there's also an etching there from the 17th or 18th century, I think. Now, again, I'm not an art critic. I don't know if it's an original or a copy, but maybe somebody would know. So welcome all if you'd like to come over and take a look at our artwork and make a bid on it. I've already bid on one of them. Anyway, the ones on the wall are generally marked not for sale. We're hanging on to them, but everything is laid out on a table in the west wall. So thank you for your time.
They really do have some nice artwork over there. Additional announcements about things happening at GPUUC are published in the Weekly Peak, on our website, in Reverend Patty's videos, and we have, I believe, some printed copies of the announcements out on the welcome table. Our faith development class for ages 5 and older is being taught by Sandra Palacios across the street in our faith development building, and here in this building by Ainsley O'Donnell for children under 5. We thank Lena for our music this morning. Russ, who's going to be leading our hymns and helping out in other ways. Lila, our Sunday manager, and all our Sunday morning volunteers. A special thank you to Tracy, who filled in at the last moment for Deidre, who found herself very ill this morning. We have a member from the Launchpad Teen Advisory Council with us this morning. Each of their kids on this council are so passionate about change in our community, making something doing something meaningful for our community. And Tessa Martinez is a second-year student at Yavapai College in General Studies. So we'll welcome her up here a little bit later. And I also want to do a shout out to Natalie Amadio. She was also planning to be here, but she is also sick this morning. So it's going around, folks. Be careful. We begin our service in the Unitarian tradition of lighting the chalice. And our chalice lighter is our guest, Al Schober. In these hard times, Let us look first to the response of love. In the midst of challenge, may our chalice flame bear witness to the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. In the midst of uncertainty, may our chalice be a beacon of encouragement, that our values may be our guide. Let us look first to the response of love. Our words of gathering today come from the introduction to an initiative undertaken by the Unitarian Universalist Association back in 2014 called Beyond Partisan Division. Unitarian Universalism is a border-crossing faith, constantly revisiting what it means to be open and welcoming to all who would find sustenance in our message and our communities. Our first principle calls us to see the inherent worth and dignity in every person. Our fourth principle champions a free search for truth and meaning. Still, we struggle to evidence the capacity for a welcome that stretches beyond partisan division. The seemingly intractable division between our nation's political parties and the increasing focus on extreme positions make the call to build beloved community seem at best difficult and at worst ridiculous, even dangerous. This morning, let us be reminded to live into our principles in the hope that meeting the challenge will serve us as individuals as it serves the larger life of which we are a part. Now, for those present in the sanctuary, please stand in body or spirit and sing our opening hymn, Comfort Me. And the words are either on the screen or in the turquoise guide on number 1002.
Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Sing with me.
Now please join me in saying the words to our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth, its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek much in freedom, to serve others in community. Thus do we covenant together. Our beloved community is the heart of Granite Peak Unitarian Universalist congregation. We hold in our hearts and join in joy with all of you here at home and in our community. As we experience a time of meditation and music, we will take a few moments to silently acknowledge the joys and concerns of our hearts and minds. If there is an event which moves you to joy or concern, hope or gratitude, I invite you to come forward silently and drop a petal into our communal water. Let the ripples remind us of our connection to one another. A symbolic handful of pebbles for the people of Morocco and those who are suffering from the earthquake and have lost loved ones. Please sing these words of comfort. As we prepare to take the offering this morning, let us embrace the feeling of connection and community that we have when we gather here each week. Let us remember that this congregation and its programs are supported by your generosity. We also give back to the greater community through our seeds of support. This month's recipient should already be familiar to all of us. That's the Granite Peak Neighborhood Outreach Pantry. Please read about them if you need to in our order of service. To give online, the link is available in the chat, or you can also go to our website. Please enjoy the offertory music. We acknowledge the generosity of spirit expressed through this offering. What is given in love is received in gratitude. Blessed be. So now please join in a responsive reading led by Russ. It's found either on the screen or in that gray hymnal number 576, a litany of restoration. Excuse me, I'm spilling money.
Two bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1. There's a lot of money on the floor up here. Okay. If, recognizing the interdependence of all life, we strive to build a community, the strength we gather will be our salvation. If you are black and I am white, it will not matter. If you are female and I am male, it will not matter. If you are older and I am younger, it will not matter. If you are progressive and I am conservative, it will not matter. If you are straight and I am gay, it will not matter. If you are Christian and I am Jewish, it will not matter. If I am poor and you are rich, it will not matter. If we join spirits as brothers and sisters, the pain of our aloneness will be lessened, and that does matter. In this spirit, we build community and move toward restoration.
Now we welcome Tessa with our message today about the Better Together campaign and whatever else she's going to talk about.
Pull my notes up here real quick. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you all for being here today, and I'm really thankful for letting us present here today as well. So first, the Teen Advisory Council, aka TAC, is part of the Launchpad. And if you've never been to the Launchpad, it's over on 6th Street, kind of behind Captain CrossFit. And we have drop-in hours and all different types of different activities for teens here in the community. So TAC is a group of really passionate teens here in the Prescott area, all from different schools. Obviously, I go to Yavapai College. We have teens from Prescott High School, Bases, also Tri-City as well. And during TAC, we're all leaders there. We practice leadership, and we come together to see what campaigns we would like to see in the community. So Better Together has been our main campaign for the past 2 years now. So first it started in 2020 when we saw all the protests happening in our hometown. We saw that no one really knew how to have a civil discussion, and us teens saw that as an opportunity to stand up and be leaders in our community. So a goal with TAC is to kind of mend this division in community, but also to show that teens can make a difference as well, right? We still have the same opinions as adults, and they're valid as well. So for TAC's beginning, as I said, it started in 2020. There was this hate video that came out from a Prescott High School student. So we made this youth action group committee. And then kind of after a few months it had fizzled out, so TAC took the initiative to kind of revive that and start this Better Together campaign to teach people and give people the toolbox of how to have a civil discussion with people. And on this next slide, here's some data that we got. So in the first year of Better Together, we did a survey in Yavapai County. And so here, as you can see, one of our questions was, do you think there's a strong division in the community? And 81% of people said yes. Now we got almost 1,000 surveys from the community. So this is definitely a majority of the community here in Yavapai County. And as you can see on the right, question 8, I feel like people are lacking skills to have respectful conversations about difficult topics. So the blue is in every case, red is in most cases, yellow is in some cases, and green is in few, and the orange is in no cases. So as you can see, most people do feel that people all are lacking those skills in some way or another. And the next slide, there's some more as well. So as our age range, we try to capture the whole community, right? Because with this survey, you catch everyone, not just a small bit of the community. And then in phase 2, so we completed the survey, we got tons of responses. So in phase 2, now it was our chance to put together the data and create this guidebook. So this guidebook would be given out to families, and you would have your own dinners with either your friends, your families, or even just your neighbors, right? To kind of have a discussion with the people you feel closest to, and you can like be vulnerable with those people. And then in phase 3, what we're in now is having those dinners with people. Just kidding. Still in phase 2. Sorry, got ahead of myself. So in phase 2 is what we're in right now. So we're passing out guidebooks. At the end, you can come up to me. I can sign you up to get a guidebook. But you'll get this guidebook. It's a little mini guidebook this big, and it shows all the research that we've done, different books we had. We had a mentor, Eric Bailey, who's really famous for having civil discourses with people. So we got a chance to speak with him, which was really cool. And also in the guidebook, it has little worksheets. So it tells you step by step how to have these conversations. Maybe if there's a little speed bump in the road in your conversation, how to overcome it. And also, it's okay to step away from a conversation. If it's getting too heated, nothing good is going to come out of it if you keep yelling at each other, right? Because you put up that wall in your mind. Okay, now for phase 3. So this would be next year. We're going to host big dinner parties at the launch pad. So everyone who was able to have their own dinner in their personal communities, now it's time to come together in big Yavapai County community and share what they learned about their experiences and then talk with new people, right? Because that's the whole point, right? If you meet someone on the street and you figure out, oh, maybe we have a difference, that's okay, right? No need to argue about it or anything like that. And again, you can, if you have any other questions, we do have a TAC email. It's TAC@the-Launchpad Teen Center. And we'll send you information about dinners, or if you have any questions, maybe if I didn't answer it yet, or afterwards, I will be hanging out as well to answer some of your questions. And to sign up for dinners, we also have, let's see, we also have a website. It's bettertogethertalks.com. So also during TAC, we were able to learn how to build a website, which was really cool. So if you go on there, is a team built, and we all came up with a different wording on the website, and it allows you to have a QR code on there to sign up for the dinners as well. And the next couple of slides here are different FAQs about getting a guidebook, but all that can be answered on our website, or you can come up to me afterwards if you have any other questions as well. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you again for letting me present here, and I hope to talk to most of you afterwards.
So we do have some extra time here. So if anybody has a question right now that they would like to ask Tess, and I see Barbara back there, just say it really loud because, oh, you probably have better hearing than I do. So, and then could you come up and repeat the question that you hear and answer it? Thank you.
Yes. So there was a lot of pushback. I was actually one of the teams that had presented at city council. It was just, the presentation like this is actually the same presentation, and we got bombarded with people afterwards, saying hateful things about the launch pad. So that really, hurt me to see as a teen. I was there with another teen as well, that, these adults had felt that need to do that. But yes, to answer your question, in the beginning, we felt it was so necessary because there were teens on the square that we were protesting, and we were getting shoved around, and it was a very traumatic experience for us teens, and to see that adults weren't helping. And so we felt we needed to take that action and to stand up for ourselves and to prove that we can do that and that we can still have this be our hometown, right? Our slogan is everybody's hometown, but at that point in time, it was definitely not everybody's hometown. Yes. Yeah, they do have a recording of that on the it's the December 13th of last year was the date of the city council meeting that we presented. Is there any other questions? Yeah. Yes, it definitely is. The Moon Cafe is open, I believe, 7:30 to 1. You can come in after 1, but there will be teens in the space because that's when drop off happens after school. But the launch pad's address is 424 6th Street and is behind Captain Cross. Yes, and teens do run the cafe as well. We have an apprenticeship program that they go. Yes. Right now, oh yeah, sorry, the question was, what is the best thing you can do to support us? Right now, I would say definitely sign up for dinners. We spent about 6 months working on this guidebook, revising it, and all the little things you have to do, right, to make it publishable. So please sign up for dinners and tell your friends about it as well. Yeah. Yeah. So the question was, should you pick people who have like minds or not when having the discussion? I would say that's totally up to you. Maybe you want to start with your first dinner, maybe someone who does think alike, and maybe try and find, like, start with smaller topics, right? Not like any hot topics like climate change or something like that. Maybe start on small things, maybe like dress codes in school or something like that. Then I would definitely work your way up because you might find that you do have different opinions on something.
So for you folks on Zoom, Leslie just explained that the peacekeepers here are, and there are several in the audience today. Excuse me. And they are doing this. They're going to start practicing on themselves first because that's a suggestion rather than just go through it. And so thank you for being part of it already.
I would like to add, we do have bigger groups, different churches, and also if you just have a big friend group, we can also, TAC members can come to those meetings in a public space and kind of help you guide through the dinners if there's a whole bunch, like 20 plus people as well. Yeah. Yes, so at the city council meeting, I believe there were hate groups. I don't know specifically which ones, but we have had tons of pushback from different groups in this community, especially in the beginning, but mostly because they don't understand what it's truly about because they don't want to listen. Right, so that's why that's still important. We need to have these dinners. We still reach out to them to be like, hey, here are these dinners. I think you will really benefit from this, to understand where we're really coming from. We're not trying to brainwash anyone or anything, but this is where we're coming from, to have this civil discussion and how to acknowledge one another. Thank you. Yes, definitely. Thank you. Yeah, we do try to promote whenever we're going to speak somewhere on Facebook, the Launchpad Teen Center, and also on Instagram as well. Any other questions? Yes. Sorry. So the question was if I knew if there were any teens. Sorry, could you repeat it again? Sorry. Unhoused. Right, so on Zoom, if there's any unhoused or unsheltered teens that go to a Launchpad, I'm not sure at all. I know I would say maybe, but I do not know for sure. That's not in my wheelhouse. So what type of adult volunteers are needed at the Launchpad? I would say definitely go on to the Launchpad's website, which is the launchpadteencenter.org. I know sometimes we do have a tutoring center that maybe if you're good at a certain subject, definitely help tutoring teens. I know for different events that come up, maybe like Share the Love or something, we definitely need volunteers, but it does change on a daily basis. Is there any other questions at all? Yeah. Yeah, so the question was how do we stay resilient in the hard times that we face? I would say it's definitely we still have a community, right? As teens, we lean on each other as well, but also seeing all the other different groups in the community who are very supportive and are willing to help, definitely help them make that situation easier to deal with. But also it's a complete passion of mine. So I feel the drive that I need to do this to help the community as well. Any other questions or comments? Yeah, in the guidebook, there are some topics that you can pick from if you're having trouble. And it goes from easier topics to more harder topics to talk about. And those topics were actually pulled from the survey as well. Yes. Yes, definitely that. Yes, definitely start with a one-on-one if you are intimidated at all. But I do feel sometimes maybe like bring a friend along, like maybe four. I feel like is a good group as well because you can kind of lean on each other. But yes, definitely a one-on-one and being able to actively listen to each other as well. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it is. It can be scary when those people are very vocal about what they think, but yes, the reality of it is it's a small percentage of the community. So yes, that is a great observation.
So great questions, great speaker. Thank you so much for your commitment to this. And I hope this carries on through your life. And apologies to our folks on Zoom if you didn't hear all the questions. This was kind of spur of the moment. If we had known, we would have gotten a mic out and brought it around to everybody. But I hope you got the gist of everything that was said here. For our closing hymn, we'll be singing We'll Build a Land. It's in the gray hymnal, singing the Living Tradition number 121.
All rise. We'll build a land where we bind up the broken. We'll build a land where the captives grow free, where the oil of gladness dissolves all mourning. Oh, we'll build a promised land that can be. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice will roll down like waters, and peace like the ever-flowing stream. We'll build a land where we bring the good tidings to all the afflicted and all those who mourn, and we'll give them garlands instead of ashes. Oh, we'll build a land where peace is born. anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like the ever-flowing stream. We'll build a land, building up ancient cities, raising up devastations of old, restoring ruins of generations. Oh, we'll build a land of people so bold. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like the ever-flowing stream. Come build a land where the mantles of praises resound from spirits once faint and once weak, where like oaks of righteousness stand her people. Oh, come build the land, my people we seek. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like the ever-flowing stream.
I would just like to add that lunch pad got started right across the street in our Faith Development Building. Way to go, you guys.
Thank you for that historical comment. That's so cool. Our closing words are by Hindu poet Rabindranath Tagore. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forever by thee into ever-widening thought and action. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Please now enjoy our closing music, Swimming to the Other Side. It's got wonderful words which will be on the screen, but you're not expected to sing along. Unless you want to, I guess. My chalice lighter had to leave for his own service, so it looks like Chris is going to run up here and do the honors for us. Please join me in saying, we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. If you're viewing the service on Zoom, now's the time to grab a cup of coffee from your own kitchen and come back and join one of the breakout rooms. And for those of us here, if there are any first-time visitors or somebody who hasn't been with us for a while, we'd love it if you would be brave enough to stand up and introduce yourself.